Hi everyone. Well, it's the night before my pelvic floor physical therapy at Mayo Clinic. If you recall a few videos ago, I took you on an adventure with me getting an anorectal manometry. And the results of that showed that I have what they call pelvic floor dysfunction. Yeah, I don't know really much about it. I'm going to learn tomorrow, though. I did Google, but I try not to Google too much because it just takes me down a rabbit hole, and I don't want to go down there. I'm trying to relax tonight, and I'm having a hard time because I'm wondering, what am I in store for tomorrow? On top of it all, it's at 7:45 in the morning. I have to drive to Mayo Clinic, and if anybody knows me, they know I am not a morning person. And then I have to start my day with this mess. But anyway, I have all these thoughts going through my head about what is this going to involve? What am I in for tomorrow? I mean, when you get physical therapy for your leg or your arm or your hand, you kind of know what you're going to be doing. But how do they do physical therapy for your lower intestine area? I mean, I don't know. And what do I wear? Am I going to have to take my underwear off for this? I mean, my goodness, I'm getting myself all worked up. So anyway, tomorrow in the morning, I'm going to take you on this adventure with me, and we're going to find out what physical therapy involves for pelvic floor dysfunction. And I want you to stay tuned for that. It should be interesting. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. Well, I am in traffic and I'm on my way to Mayo Clinic. I did not sleep well last night, which in general I don't really sleep well, but I just had a lot on my mind with this therapy this morning. So that just added to a little bit of restlessness, I guess. But I got up early. I made it. I'm on the highway and I have about a half-hour drive. So I thought this would be a good time in traffic to chat with you a little bit and just let you know that for new viewers, I am getting ready to have some therapy for what is pelvic floor dysfunction. And I remembered what the therapy is, I think. It's called biofeedback therapy. Don't know what it is. I didn't Google it because I figured I'm just gonna go in blind on this and just find out as I go. Because I find that when I'm Googling things, it just gives me more anxiety. So I've kind of refrained from doing that now for a while on different things because I don't really need to be worrying about something that, what's that saying? What you don't know won't hurt you. So that's kind of my motto. But anyway, it's biofeedback therapy. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to find out today, and then I'm going to share it with you. I don't know if, I'm going to switch hands here. I don't know if at Mayo they will let, I'm going to assume they won't let me video. But you can bet I'm going to try. I'm going to ask. So I will try to get some video of this therapy, but if I can, I will definitely thoroughly explain this experience, kind of like I did the anorectal manometry. So I wore some loose, comfy clothing, and I'm somewhat relaxed. I have my coffee and traffic is moving. So I am going to concentrate on the road, but I wanted to let you know that I woke up on time, got myself together, and I'm ready to tackle this. So talk to you soon. I made it. I'm on my way to go check in, and I think I'm here way too much. I'm giving directions now. I'm helping people out. So anyway, I'm gonna go check in and get this party started. The chair's where I sit and wait. Here's the room. So not like a typical physical therapy room. It's more like an exam room. It's been an interesting visit. Hello. Well, I survived. I'm trying to think about where to begin even explaining all of this to you, because it was very enlightening today, and the physical therapist went through and really explained to me about my test and the anorectal manometry test that I had, and she went into great detail about what it showed because I asked her, and I asked a lot of questions about all of this. So let me start by saying, if you haven't seen that video, I think it's important for me to explain to you how this all started. So I have a lot of pain in my lower right side, between my rib and my waist, and it just feels bruised all the time. And they checked to see if, it was my gallbladder or kidney or anything like that, and all those tests have been normal. So I have a lot of GI issues in general since I had a bowel obstruction surgery in the spring of 2016. So that's been 3 years now, and I've just never been the same since then. And the same, and what I mean is I can't eat the same things that I used to be able to eat. Just my stomach just is always acting up. But the main issue has been this kind of strain in my back. So it's not really been going to the bathroom type of issues, although, that does, I can't say that I'm as regular as I should be, but I learned today that regular for somebody might be going once or twice a day, going number 2. Regular for another person could be 3 times a week. So to tell somebody that they're not going every day, that doesn't necessarily mean they're abnormal. So I think that's really important to understand, is we're all different. Everybody's bodies function differently. So you may eat and then just have to go to the bathroom right away. Your bathroom routine might be you go in the mornings, or, for me, I'm more of a nighttime person, and that's probably a little TMI, but we all have a routine. And what I learned is that routine, our intestinal, our going to the bathroom, it's all based on a routine. So a lot of this is, I shouldn't say a lot, I definitely have a muscle dysfunction going on, and she explained all that to me, and I'll share that with you. But this whole thing of having to go pee or poo is very much affected by your mind, as well as, you know, your muscle function. But it all works together. Just like everything else in your body, it all works together. So this is no different. So I explained to her that I have what they call a travel thing. Like when I travel, I cannot go. It takes me a long time for my body to adjust. So let's say I'm on vacation for 10 days. It might be a couple days or 3 days before, or even 4. Oh my God, I'm miserable when that happens. To go. It's gotten to the point, I mean, we travel quite a bit, where I just take laxatives with me so that I don't get so uncomfortable. So it's really miserable. That's a little more extreme than my day-to-day. But anyway, what I'm getting to is this is all a routine thing. Our going to the bathroom is very much part of just like brushing your teeth kind of thing. And when that gets kind of out of routine, it starts like getting backed up. So it's really important to, for me at least, we talked about this, establishing a routine. So let me just talk a little bit about what my test results showed from the anorectal manometry. I don't have any like incontinence problems, like leaking any type of, you know, pee or poo. I don't have that issue. Matter of fact, that part of everything works fine. It's normal. What wasn't normal was my urge. When my urge first came, and if you've watched that video, and I'm actually going to put the link to that video down below so you can see what that was about. She kept asking me, can you feel that? Can you feel that? In the beginning, she was simulating the urge to go. And I was like, no, no, no. So that I asked her about that today, the physical therapist. She goes, yeah. She goes, your urge to go came later than normal. She gave me numbers. And I'm going to look at my test to see what those numbers are, but that doesn't really matter because I'm just going to speak in layman terms. So my intestine was a lot fuller of shit. So I guess you can say I'm full of shit. Officially, Heidi is full of shit. Anyway, I think that's funny. It gets fuller before my brain or my body, or how those involuntary muscles recognize that you have to go. So that was a higher number than normal. And the other thing was not normal, she said, was what was it? Something was weaker. But what she said was this understanding my urge to go, she said that was because I've gotten used to waiting till it's really full. It's kind of like I have a flabby intestine. She laughed at that. She thought that was funny. That I have a flabby intestine because it gets stretched out. Your intestine gets stretched out if it gets too full or constipated. So I said, kind of like it's been fat for too long, so now it's flabby. So she laughed and laughed. But this is how I can understand things, and this is how I'm able to explain it. So I have kind of a stretched out, flabby intestine. And I'm like, but can this get fixed? She said, well, yeah, you know, we can work on that. So anyway, we didn't do any internal work. Yes, there is internal work. Internal work meaning they do where she sticks her finger up the vaginal area or the rectum, and she has you squeeze and flex and release and those kinds of things, and she can tell whether or not, you know, your muscle is working properly. But we didn't do any of that today. She really just wanted me to focus on, I'm gonna get in another lane here, focus on my routine, my pooping routine. And she gave me some stretching to do for the pelvic floor, because she had me lie on the table, and she kind of moved my legs around in some different areas, and I have some pretty tight muscles around my butt and lower back, and she feels like, I'm gonna move this. She feels like a lot of this could, for me, is a lot of muscular issues, more than like a mental issue. But it's definitely a little bit of both, and I know that I can improve on getting more of a routine and relaxing. And she recommended a smooth move tea. I've heard of that before. You may have heard of it. She said she really doesn't want me to rely on diuretics, which I don't use, by the way, or suppositories or anything like that. And I'm actually really happy to learn that, you know, everybody's routine doesn't have to be the same. So if somebody tells you, oh, you don't go, you know, once a day, 3 times a day, that's not normal. You're, there's something wrong or whatever. And that's what I've always been told, and that kind of stressed me out. So like, if I didn't go one day, I would be like, oh, you know, I didn't go. So I don't think that we need to be comparing about that and add more stress to somebody who, you know, may be having an issue with that. So just be mindful, like everything else. We're not like each other. We're unique. So you may be one way and I may be another way, and that's okay. That doesn't make me any less than you because I poop once a day or 3 times a week. Anyway, I know this is a really personal thing to talk about, but this is a life thing. This is like something that makes you feel, you know, it's kind of like talking about sex or whatever, you know, it's taboo. People shouldn't be talking about it. Well, I ain't gonna talk about that, but I am gonna talk about poop and your intestines and the way your pelvic floor muscles all work together. Your pelvic floor muscles basically circle around your rectum, around your urethra and your vaginal area, and all of them work together. There's a lot of different muscles encompassing that area that make up the pelvic floor, but it's known as a muscle as a whole. So that's the area I'm talking about. So right now she gave me some kind of yoga poses and stretches and stuff to do because my muscles are tight and around my hip and butt area, and she wants me to start being more mindful of my routine. And I'm going to schedule an appointment in a couple weeks, and you know, she may want to do a inside check, but we're not doing biofeedback. She doesn't want to start with that. And basically what biofeedback is, it's a they actually put sensories there and mimic what it should feel like to go and train these muscles, and you can watch it on a screen and feel the sensations, and then you kind of start retraining your brain. I don't have that severe of a situation. There are people that have, you know, they're not going to the bathroom for, you know, a week or more, and also, you know, they have incontinence issues. You know, they're unable to hold their pee or their poop and things like that. I'm not like that. I seriously just have this pain in my back, and she believes it's more related to, you know, the pelvic floor muscle, and not so much these other things, although the test that I had done, the Anorectal Manometry, did show a muscle dysfunction. So, you know, we do know that. But it's also a mindful thing. And so I'm going to work on both of those and make an appointment in a couple weeks. And then I think she's going to check in with me to see how that's going. And then hopefully, you know, she thought, well, maybe she'll do like a hand check, like a vaginal check, and just kind of have me flex muscles and that kind of thing, flex my pelvic floor muscles, and she can identify different things from that. But she was very professional, very informative, spent, you know, 45 minutes with me talking about all of this so that I can understand exactly what got me to this point. So anyway, I'm sharing that with you. I've been on here 15 minutes already, almost 16, and I'm on my way to work, and I'm going to absorb all of this new information and see how I can get myself back on track. So I will talk to you again soon. Have a great day.